So, have you woken up and you just feel it? You feel just that subtle tension, just quiet heaviness. It's just pressing at your chest. Your life, it doesn't feel terrible. It doesn't feel chaotic. It doesn't even feel wrong. It just feels flat. And you become used to it. You become accustomed to that low hum of just dissatisfaction. You call it life. You call it routine. You tell yourself it's normal. But the truth is, it's not life. It's you. Not maliciously, not dramatically, but habitually. It's comfortably, silently, steadily, daily you're choosing staleness. And if you keep what you're doing, if you keep doing what you're doing, what you've always done, the next year, the next 5 years, the next decade will look exactly the same. The only difference will be the weight of knowing that you let it happen. And that will grow heavier and heavier over time. So ask yourself, if I keep choosing this life, what version of myself am I creating? What will I look like in 10 years? Do you feel that? That right there is recognition. That's tension. That's the first crack in the wall of self-deception. Welcome back to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. This is a short, actionable podcast to help you take steps to get you from where you are now to living the life of your dreams. I'm Sanj and I'm here to get you from stuck to unstoppable. If you get something from this episode, please let me know. Drop me a DM at just.live.coaching or share it on your Instagram. Share it with someone who you know who would benefit from hearing this. So, as I was saying, ask yourself, if you keep choosing this life, what version of yourself are you creating? And let's get specific. Life feels stale because your patterns are stale. Because the things you do, the things that you're tolerating in your life, the things that you're defending, they're actually slowly suffocating the person that you could become. What things are you tolerating? Where are you defending these patterns which are no longer serving you? Take a moment. Think about your morning. What does that look like? You wake up, grab your phone, you scroll. Maybe while you're brushing your teeth, you're scrolling Instagram, TikTok, your news feed, emails. You're telling yourself things like, oh yeah, I'm doing research. I need to know what I'm catching, what I've missed overnight, what I'm catching up on. But the real reason is simpler. It's avoidance. You avoid starting the day intentionally because that would require discomfort. It would require focus. It would require self-honesty. Think about the relationships in your life. Who do you talk to out of obligation rather than alignment? Who are you talking to who just drains your energy? As I mentioned before, who's a drain in your life? Who's a tap? Who leaves you irritated, anxious, or small, but you just keep them around because confrontation is hard, because it may hurt their feelings, or because it's easier that way, or maybe just because you've always known them. Now think about your habits, the routines, the unfinished projects, the lingering guilt, all that mental clutter that you never saw. You carry it all silently every single day. And so what I want you to do is I want you to just write down just one habit, one relationship, one mental pattern that drains you. And notice how quickly you begin to rationalize keeping it. Whether it's, oh yeah, I keep buying this food even though I want to be healthier because it's an easy snack. Or, oh yeah, I keep this person around because I've known them since forever. Or, yeah, you know what? I don't save enough money, or I don't do what I need to do. And you give yourself all these reasons. Yeah, and that is a root of staleness, choosing what doesn't serve you, not once, not occasionally, but every day. And comfort is seductive. Let's be honest. Yeah, familiarity, that feels safe, but comfort is that enemy of alignment, and familiarity is the shadow of stagnation. Because the truth is, every tolerated habit is a deposit into the bank of self-betrayal. Every avoided boundary is a withdrawal from self-trust. Every justified distraction is compounding interest on your frustration. But let me give you a couple of examples. One of my clients, Mark, wakes up every morning and used to scroll on his phone for 45 minutes. He told himself that it was research for his job, but it wasn't research. It was avoidance. 45 minutes. Yeah, avoidance of that first difficult step in his creative work. It was a way for him putting it off. 5 years later, he accomplished what he wanted to. He's been working so hard. He's been getting promotions. He's been moving forward. And he's now more confident in himself. He's moving forward, and he's living a life that he wakes up every day. He no longer scrolls. He gets up and takes action straight away. One of my clients, Sarah, they had issues with one of their relationships. It was a friendship and it was toxic, but leaving it would have been awkward. Reason was, it was a family friend, and she rationalized it with, I'm being kind. I can't do this because it would hurt too many people. But the truth is that kindness without the boundaries was self-betrayal. So now she's actually cut those ties. She cut them a bit late, and she's now dealing with even more hassle than what she would have done if she cut them earlier. But she cut them, and she feels freer. She feels happier. She feels more empowered. So you right now, what are you tolerating? Where do you need to take action? Maybe it's your inbox. Maybe it's binge watching TV shows that leave you flat. Maybe it's just scrolling social media to feel connected when you're actually just numbing. Every tolerated routine, relationship and habit, it just quietly will steal your clarity, your energy and your life force. And because it's slow, you don't see it until it's compounded, until things have got really bad. So what of these safe routines are stealing your life? And what would happen if you confronted one of them this week? And so when you do this, you actually start to realize that growth doesn't start with adding more. It starts with removing what no longer serves you. Yeah, so adding more habits, more energy, more productivity hacks, it will fail if the soil is still toxic. Your life is a soil, and right now is full of weeds, which are old habits, distractions, unresolved commitments. Rocks, which are just draining relationships, repetitive obligations and mental clutter. And dead roots, which are your past decisions, which you keep tolerating. And by planting new seeds, new routines, new goals, new relationships in this toxic soil is futile. The seeds will sprout weakly, they'll barely grow, and eventually they'll wither. But subtraction, that's the secret. So before adding, clear those habits that drain, those relationships that suck the energy, and the thoughts that no longer serve your alignment. Then you've got the space to actually detoxify that soil. Yeah, and you can plant the new seeds. So if you spent the next week eliminating just one draining habit, one relationship or pattern, what would change? Yeah, you may be thinking that I'll deal with this later. It's not urgent. It is, because the urgency is silent, it's slow, and it's cumulative. Yeah, when you tolerate, it's compounding resentment. When you avoid, you decline yourself. Your self-trust declines. Yeah, when you rationalize, you're just deepening your cognitive dissonance. And the consequences, 5 years of small consequences, incremental self-betrayal, lost potential. It leads to regret. Look at your calendar. Which obligations, which commitments or distractions are building this staleness in your life? How many tolerated routines exist just so you can keep doing what you've always been doing? It's time for changed that. It's time that you confronted that inner dialogue. It's time that you started thinking what's best for you. What do you need to become the version of you that wants to survive, that wants to no longer survive, and start thriving? Because now it's all about ownership. Because real change isn't awareness. Real change is action that destabilizes your current identity. Yeah, so write down every habit, relationship, and mental clutter that no longer serves you. Don't justify it. Don't rationalize it. Just name it. 2 is this week, start removing one identified drain. Set a boundary, end a conversation, delete a habit. Just one aligned, uncompromised action. No excuses. Step 3 is ask yourself, am I the person who tolerates mediocrity or the person who clears what no longer serves me? And then take one action signaling that identity. Something that makes people around you uncomfortable, not for their sake, but for yours. And number 4 is create an internal contract. 1 week, you refuse to do or tolerate anything that doesn't add value, clarity, or alignment to your life. Track every choice, reflect daily. Ownership is measured in integrity, not motivation. You're becoming someone who clears the old and you create the aligned. You're someone who refuses to tolerate the life that drains, distracts, or misaligns. Yeah, now you can step into ownership, into clarity, into alignment. Because when you start to do that, when you start to clear your mind, when you start to shift that mindset, when you start to master your mindset, you master your life. If you got something from this episode, if you see those tolerated habits, those energy drains, those relationships which are quietly shaping your life, you now can't unsee it. Drop me a message. Let me know what's going to change for you. Drop me a DM on Instagram at just.live.coaching, or drop a message in the Facebook community, in the Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life community. If you do nothing, just listen to this and it compounds. It'll just drift. You'll feel resentment, self-betrayal, and loss of self-trust. So take this step for accountability, for clarity, for ownership of the new life that you're choosing today. And if you're a guy and you're looking for a community where you can feel supported, challenged, and being given accountability, join the Motivated Man Facebook community. And let's see how you can change your life, get you from stuck to unstoppable. Thank you.